Today is Wednesday, July 17th. I'm Bridget, and this is Girls. Nope, I'm sorry. We don't have time for that. Today, I'm going to try and fit as many inspiring women as I can in this video. Whew. Let's go. Let's start with writers. Betty Friedan, author of The Feminine Mystique and co-founded the National Organization for Women. J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter books. Jane Austen, author of Pride and Prejudice. Whether you love her or hate her, she's one of the most influential female authors of all time. Louisa May Alcott, author of Little Women and the first woman to register to vote in her Massachusetts town. Margaret Atwood, author of The Handmaid's Tale. Alice Walker, author of The Color Purple. Activist. Susan B. Anthony, abolitionist and women's rights activist. She co-founded the National Women's Suffrage Association with Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Influencing both Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Emmeline Pankhurst, the leader of the British suffragette movement. Sojourner Truth, born into slavery, escaped with her daughter in 1826. In a court case to try and free her son, she was the first black woman to win against a white man. Margaret Sanger opened the first birth control clinic in 1916. Speaking of babies not having babies, Josephine Butler raised the age of consent in the UK from 13 to 16. Malala Yousafzai, 16-year-old Pakistani women's rights activist, wrote a blog for the BBC under a pseudonym at the ages of 11 and 12, speaking out against the Taliban. Won Pakistan's first National Youth Peace Prize. Politicians. Angela Merkel, current German Chancellor. Margaret Thatcher, lover or hater, she was the first female prime minister in the UK. Wendy Davis, Texas senator, filibustered controversial Senate Bill 5 for 10 hours. Hillary Clinton, former First Lady, Senator, and Secretary of State from 2009 to 2013. She is the first former First Lady to have served on a president's cabinet. Next, performers. Tina Fey, who based her movie Mean Girls on the self-help book Queen Bees and Wannabes. Tina Fey's partner in crime, Amy Poehler, who in addition to her film and television success created a YouTube channel called Smart Girls at the Party. Audrey Hepburn has won both the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the John Hirschfeld Humanity Award. She's fluent in 6 languages and is widely regarded for her humanitarian work with UNICEF. Katie Couric, a journalist. While anchoring the CBS Evening News, she became the first female anchor of a weekday evening news show on one of the big 3 basic cable networks. Ellen DeGeneres was one of the first out female actresses on television. Katharine Hepburn fought traditional gender norms by wearing pants. Next, musicians and composers. St. Hildegard of Bingen. She's recognized in the Anglican Church and in parts of the Roman Catholic Church as a saint. She is known for her musical, literary, and scientific contributions to the church. Oh, and she was alive in the 10th century. A female punk protest band with members currently as political prisoners. They were charged with hooliganism after they held a punk prayer in a Moscow cathedral against Vladimir Putin. Ella Fitzgerald, one of the most amazing jazz vocalists ever, sold 40 million copies of her albums, won 13 Grammy Awards, was awarded the National Medal of Arts by Ronald Reagan and the Presidential Medal of Freedom by George H.W. Bush. Madonna. Again, lover or hater, she pushed the boundaries of sexual expression and autonomy in female music. Aretha Franklin, who also earned the National Medal of Arts and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, has sold 75 million records and has 18 Grammy Awards. She was also the first female performer to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Next, historical figures. The second half of the 16th century in Europe saw a blossom for women rulers. Elizabeth I ruled England from 1552 to 1603. Mary, Queen of Scots, ruled Scotland from 1542 to 1567, and Catherine de' Medici ruled France from 1547 to 1549. Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the first United Nations delegates, first chair of the United Nations Commission on Human Rights, and she oversaw the writing of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. How about some athletes? Abby Wambach is currently the highest all-time scorer in women's soccer. She also holds the world record of men and women's international goals with 160, replacing Mia Hamm, who had 158. Catherine Switzer was the first woman to run the Boston Marathon. Scientists. Jane Goodall. She's known mostly for her research on chimps. She also founded the Jane Goodall Institute and is the former president for Advocates for Animals. Marie Curie. Not only is she the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, she's the first woman to win 2 Nobel Prizes and the only person to have ever won in 2 sciences. Maria Mitchell, the astronomer, discovered a comet with a telescope. She was the first woman to be elected into the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Let's end with some businesswomen. Andrea Young, the CEO of Avon from 1999 to 2012. To date, she is the longest-serving female head of a Fortune 500 company. Virginia Rometty is currently the CEO of IBM and is the first woman to have ever held that position. And finally, Oprah Winfrey. Her empire boasts a syndicated talk show, a magazine, a charitable organization, along with many other philanthropic deeds, books, a book club, a website, a radio channel, and now a television network. Whew!